As we move along in math, we need to update the way that we're used to seeing multiplication. Now that you have your multiplication facts down and you're used to using it, we're going to start seeing it shown in different ways for different situations. I've written 2 times 3 up here in the way that you're probably used to seeing 2 times 3 written. But as we move along and we get into algebra, we want to drift away from and stop using the X symbol to represent multiplication, because that will begin to represent other things as we go along. What's going to be more common now if we show straight multiplication is to use a dot. So here's the same problem, 2 times 3, but written with the new instead of an X for multiplication, it's written with the dot. We could also show this same multiplication problem using parentheses. So when a number comes right up against a parentheses with another number inside, that represents a multiplication problem. It's showing us to distribute this 2 inside the parentheses to the 3 using multiplication. The third way we could possibly see this is when we get into more algebraic problems and we start working with equations and you see a number and a letter right next to each other. For example, you could see the equation y equals 2x. Well, this x doesn't represent multiplication anymore. This x represents a variable. And since we don't see any sign in between the two, we can know that they are multiplying those two. So we can see 2 numbers with a dot in between. We can see 2 numbers next to each other with a parentheses. Or we can see a number and a letter right next to each other, and these are all different ways to see multiplication.